Welcome to Section 1 of Chapter 5. In this section, we will begin with analyzing your payer mix to get you started. This is a good place to start when connecting behavioral health services to your commercial contracts.
So in analyzing your payer mix, you have to find out who your biggest payers are. So you know this already. Who's the biggest payer in your practice? And there might be several. Usually here in Colorado, it's United Healthcare and Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield. But it could be different for your practice. You want to find out who the bigger payers are, and you want to look at all your payers and determine this payer mix, where your patients come from. If you can, look into the types of products per payer. So you might have a lot of PPO products patients versus HMO patients. It depends on where your practice is. It depends on the type of practice you are, and it has a lot to do with how the economy is going. So when the economy starts to slow down, we tend to have more HMO patients. When the economy really heats up, and different parts of the state are at different levels for this, but in a really heated economy, you tend to have a lot of PPO patients. But understanding that mix, even within a contract or within a payer, is really important on how you would approach a health plan.
The state of the economy will play a role in the healthcare market as it relates to overall costs. As the economy slows down, we tend to see a shift to HMO products because patients and employers look for more cost-effective options. In a stronger economy, we typically see more PPO patients who are willing to spend more for more flexibility in their plans. We understand that you will not treat your patients any differently, depending on the insurance that they carry, but it is important for you to know which payer is driving the most volume into your practice, so you can better understand your payer mix.
So when you're looking at your contracts, and say you're looking at United Healthcare, Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, Cigna, and Aetna, let's say. So look at them in terms of not only the mix between them, but the types of products that are within those contracts. You want to determine what that mix of patients are that come to your practice. The other thing you might consider, it again depends on where your practice is to find out your local employers. What do they use? That'll help you too. If you have a big employer near your office and they have Aetna, let's say, then you would expect to have a lot of Aetna patients. If that's not true, you might want to look into that a little bit and see what's going on. Finding out where people work and what their benefit levels are is really going to help you with strategy on how to approach those health plans. All of this ties back to Chapter 1, where we discussed all of the types of payers we have here in Colorado. So I'd encourage you to go back and you might want to go back and review Chapter 1 to give you an idea of what our market looks like here in Colorado. So you might ask, why is this important? It's important because different payers do things differently. They have different customers. Those customers have self-funded and fully insured products. A self-funded product, the customer itself is in charge of the benefits. And so the benefits might be different by health plan, for sure, and it might also be different by product within that health plan. You might have, and you probably do, have narrow network situations in the community where your practice is. Those narrow networks are oftentimes based on the benefits that specific customers of the health plans have. And so you're just going to want to be aware of that because they may have a richer benefit for behavioral health. They may have a richer benefit for a lot of different things, and understanding how that works is going to help you tremendously. Some payers might have their own network for behavioral health. They like lab, how there's lab networks, there might be a behavioral health network. You're going to want to find out what that is. Some payers have benefit structures that say that if they see a behavioral health diagnosis more than so many times, they would then remove that patient and take them into their behavioral health network. Again, that's something that you're going to want to find out. And don't assume that if that it would apply to all of their lives, because again, they have different products and all kinds of different arrangements within those health plans. So it might be different from one patient even to another. The more you know, the more you can look at your data, the more you understand from them, ask questions, the better you'll be prepared and ready and successful when you do contracting.
It is important that you know the various products within each health plan and that you are aware of any narrow networks as well. If a health plan has a narrow network specific to behavioral health services, they may designate patients for that network based on the diagnosis they see come through their system. You will want to verify this information with the health plans to make sure you can see your patients as an in-network provider.